Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the managing director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. As the title of this video suggests, we're discussing the quote-unquote VIP tourist model for tourism to Thailand. And what are we talking about here? Well, as we've discussed in various videos over the past year, there have been a number of plans that they've been trying to institute within Thai government circles, Thai policymaker circles, and they've been talking about if they haven't actually promulgated any legislation or any regulations that actually change the legal framework for coming and staying in Thailand. But the question posed is whether or not so-called VIP tourists, whether this model is something that Thailand should pursue. And I started thinking about this after reading an article from the Pattaya Mail, that's pattayamail.com. Articles titled Debates Rage About the 5 Future Scenarios for Pattaya. And quoting from an excerpt in here, and I urge folks who are watching this video, go check out that article. There's a lot going on in there. I'm just taking an excerpt out of this. Good analysis in there about where things may be going in the future. Quoting directly, the Tourist Authority of Thailand argues that Thailand can find at least 1 million new expats who will benefit the Thai treasury by billions in any currency. Ideas include allowing foreigners to buy freehold property in selected estates, including Pattaya, and removal of immigration restrictions for elite card holders and well-heeled digital nomads. There's even the suggestion of permanent residency for foreign investors who keep on signing checks. But none of these initiatives have yet surfaced, except the 4-year SMART visa, which does not require a work permit, and it is far from clear how many of these wealthy foreign guys and gals are actually out there. And it's a good point. The point we've discussed a lot of this in prior videos, all these different iterations of the elite card, the discussion of, the possibility of home ownership, even possibly land ownership, which, as I've said in other videos, I think that's pretty far-fetched. I don't see that happening anytime soon. But changes, maybe longer-term visas, things like that. Certainly the SMART visa, that actually has been rolled out. That is out there, although I found that most folks, there's a very narrow subset of people that seem to find a great deal of value out of that program. And as just a quote again from this article, and it is far from clear how many of these wealthy foreign guys and gals are actually out there. It's a good question, and I've seen this posed, I've seen this discussed a lot, sometimes even in comments on our videos. The sort of discussion between, are a few VIP, quote-unquote, high net worth, quote-unquote, expats living in Thailand really better than, as I put in one video, I think, a larger volume of quote-unquote average Joes. And in my opinion, I don't really see why they need to be mutually exclusive. You can have programs that, are aimed at attracting folks that are high net worth, that just don't want to deal with certain aspects of immigration. And you can simultaneously, I think, maintain for example, the main one being the retirement visa option for folks over 50. That they can come into Thailand, they can get a retirement visa, and yes, it needs to be renewed yearly, and yes, there are some requirements associated with it, including things like a TM30 and 90-day reporting. But you can maintain status in Thailand long term, in retirement status as a quote-unquote average Joe, and depending which way you deal with it, you can either maintain 800,000 baht in a bank account for a certain segment of the year or 65,000 baht in incoming pension income for the entirety of the year on a monthly basis. So again, I'm not saying seeking, quote, VIP tourists is a bad idea. What I would say is probably a bad idea is seeking them to the exclusion of anybody else, because, and I've done other videos on this, I think retirees have become pretty important I think they've become an important component of the overall expat community. And I think that importance has been magnified by the recent events that have caused real problems with respect to tourism revenue and the business environment associated with the tourism industry.